Welcome back. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our Wellness Wednesday podcast. I am one of your hosts, Cristy Hooper, licensed clinical mental health counselor supervisor. But today, I'm showing up not just as your therapist, but as a black woman, a daughter, a sister, a friend, a human being who is on her own journey towards well being well, being whole, and being balanced. But before I get into my own journey, I want to talk about the difference between mental health and mental illness. Mental health is part of our overall well-being. It includes our emotional, psychological, and social functioning, how we think, feel, manage stress, and interact with others. Everyone has mental health just like everyone has physical health. However, mental illness refers to diagnosable conditions like depression, anxiety disorders, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, and so on. That significantly disrupts our daily life. Not everyone will experience mental illness, but everyone will face challenges that affect their mental health. Even people without a diagnosis deal with mental health factors daily, such as stress from work, school, family responsibilities. You have your grief, your loss, self esteem, confidence, and even identity struggles. Life transitions, moving, relationships, parenting, aging, and building coping skills and resilience. So, I'm here to talk about the mental health part, something that we all face and might not even know about it. So, why does our mental health matter? Taking care of mental health is like caring for your body. It requires ongoing attention, good sleep, nutrition, relationships, movement, mindfulness, and self reflection all play a role in maintaining balance. Ignoring it doesn't mean it goes away, it just means challenges might surface later in less manageable ways. So, in short, everyone has mental health, but not everyone will experience mental illness. We often hear the phrase, healer, heal thyself. And I've taken that to heart because while I spend so much time of my life walking alongside others in their healing, I had to ask myself, am I doing the same work for me? Am I addressing my own wounds, my own childhood and pain, my own habits for survival, so that they don't quietly show up in the way I live, love, and lead? So let's talk about owning my own journey. I grew up knowing the strength of a black woman and black women, women who carried entire families, churches, and communities on their backs. But I also saw the silent suffering, the unspoken trauma that just keep going mentally, the mentality that never left the room to pause and say, I'm hurting. As I got older, I realized that the little girl in me, the one who didn't always feel safe or fully understood, was still speaking. She was showing up in my adult life in ways I didn't always recognize. Maybe through perfectionism, maybe even through having to be the strong one, maybe through even ignoring my own needs until my body, mind, or my spirit forced me to slow down. I couldn't keep moving through life like that. Not as a therapist who wanted to be authentic, not as a woman who wanted to have healthy relationships, and not as a black woman who refused to let generational pain dictate my future. So now that's why I'm here today. I want to tell you that I've done the work and I continue to do the work to improve my mental health daily. So I started doing the work, and let's be real, it wasn't easy. It wasn't. Having to face ideas, thoughts, pain, things that happened, um, the truth of it. It meant going back to therapy myself. It meant journaling the hard truths and crying over things I had already gotten past. It meant setting boundaries with people I love, and sometimes disappointing others in order to show up more truthfully for myself. And I take that to heart. I set boundaries like no other because I like to maintain my peace. It also meant learning to parent myself in the areas where my younger self didn't get what I need. And I had the best parents in the world. But you have to, I think I learned once I got older and started doing therapy, that we hold our parents to a pedestal, and we have this idea of who they should be, and as parents and society have this idea, but we forget that they're human too. And parents have to grow as well in stages. And I often think about me and my siblings, how we have the same parents, we grew up in the same house, but we also could have different experiences of our parents depending on what they were going through in their life at the time frame they were raising them. So what the parents I got might not be the parents that Iris and Sharon got. And that's something that I think a lot of people really need to take to heart. Learning to sit with uncomfortable emotions instead of rushing to fix them. I think we talked about this in the last episode, just wanting to be fixers. We want to fix ourselves. We want to fix other people. We want to be saviors. But sometimes you have to just really sit in what the reality is of the situation, acknowledge it, feel it, embrace it, and learning to pause when old triggers show up and asking myself, is this about right now or is this about something from then? A lot of times in our adult lives, we get triggered by things and don't realize it's not about what's happening now. It's about the little person inside of us that experienced that in the past and we never dealt with it. This work isn't about blaming anybody because there's nobody to blame. It's about freedom. It's about not letting my unhealed places silently run the show. It's about giving myself permission to feel joy, peace, and softness without guilt. So today I choose balance. I choose wholeness. And being a Black woman, as a Black woman, balance can feel like a radical act. Society often expects us to be everything for everyone: strong, unshakable, constantly available. But strength without healing becomes survival, not living. And I refuse to let other people dictate who I am today and how I show up. I want to be the well, whole individual that I need for myself, because if I'm that for myself, then I can be that for others. I can't help people if I'm broken. I can't help people if I'm unhealed. I can't help people if I'm still holding on to the past, because hurt people can end up hurting people. And I don't want to be the person that damaged someone else on their journey to wellness because I haven't dealt with mine. For me, being whole means I don't have to perform strength to be worthy. I don't have to be strong. And a lot of times, I think as women, we tell ourselves that, but I don't have to be. Sometimes I need to be, but I don't have to be. I can be vulnerable. I can rest. I can laugh. I can love without carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders. It is not my job to carry the weight of the world on my shoulders. It's not my job to carry the weight of generations that have come before me. I have to live for the here and now and do what's best for me so that I can make sure that the space is there for the next generation coming along and they can take it even a step further. Being balanced means my yes and my no both carry power. And you guys have heard me say, I'll say no first before I say yes. Because there was a time in my life where I wouldn't say no. It was actually scary because I didn't want to disappoint somebody. I didn't want to feel the brunt of me stepping up and setting boundaries for other people and they feel some type of way about me. It means my career doesn't overshadow my humanity. I don't live to work. I work so I can live. And I think we all should really acknowledge that at times we need to set aside time to, whatever your roles are. We wear many hats, and that's not just for women, but for men too. We can be fathers, mothers, sisters, brothers, um, aunts, uncles. But we have to be who we need to be for ourselves first. And we have to learn that balance. I promise you, Lord forbid something happens to me tomorrow on Indeed or is it Glassdoor? They're going to have my job description up because that's how quick someone else can take my place. So I refuse to work long and hard and stress about my job when I can be out here living my best life, my 9 to 5, or whatever time frame you have to work. For our entrepreneurs, whatever time frame you set to work, be structured and balanced enough to just work that time. And then when you clock out, you go do what you love and enjoy. A lot of people don't have the privilege to love and enjoy their job or their careers. I happen to love what I do. So to me, it's not always working, but I still have to find that balance because I just enjoy it. I know that that is my calling. That's why I'm here. But I couldn't get here until I learned to help myself first. And being well, that is my birthright. It means choosing health in my body, peace in my mind, and lightness in my spirit. It means unlearning the message that my worth is tied to productivity. I don't have to always win. I don't have to always finish the race first. It's the effort. It's the fact that I got out there, that I tried, that I was motivated enough to do it. Wellness for me is choosing freedom. I choose freedom. So, why am I sharing this, you guys? Why am I sitting here this week by myself? Because I know I'm not alone. I wanted to have this intimate conversation with people so that they can feel people are listening today. I'm here today. People in your life, your natural supports, we're all here who have poured into everybody else and left themselves dry. You have someone here that's willing and opening and have a listening ear, and I have my hand out. People who have avoided looking at their pain of their childhood because it feels too heavy. And I know it can be scary. But in order to get over it and do better and be free, we have to face it. You have to, the adult you has to hold the little person you, the child you, through this journey of that fear, of that trauma, of those scary situations, of those triggers, so that they can grow up. People who wear strength like armor but secretly long for softness, the rest for the balance. I hear you and I see you. I want you to hear me. It's okay to do your own work. It's okay to seek therapy, to talk about your story, to give your inner child the healing he and she deserves. Because your healing matters, not just for you, but the way you show up in the world. I'm still on this journey and I haven't arrived. By far, I know I haven't arrived, but each day I'm choosing wellness. I'm choosing wholeness. I'm choosing balance, and I choose to be well. Thank you for walking with me today. If this episode spoke to you, share it with someone who needs encouragement. And remember, your wellness isn't selfish, it's sacred. I hope you were able to take something away this week. I hope I was able to foster a bridge for you to say, you know what, if she can do it, so can I. Until next time, be well.